Morning and welcome to the Unitarian Congregation of Guelph. My name is Michael Gilbertson and I will be your service leader this morning. We strive to be an inclusive community, cultivating diversity of mixed ages, genders, sexual orientation and race, and we welcome all who come in search of truth and meaning. To quote Linda Friedman, inclusion is not a program, inclusion is a mindset. It is the way we treat others and the way they treat us. Inclusion is the opportunity to learn together and from one another. Our speaker this morning is Dr. Daisy Rannigan, and she will be speaking about the work of Thomas Berry and the relationship with our seventh principle concerning the interdependent web of life. I will introduce Daisy more fully later in the service. We seem to have already lit the candle, so I'm only going to turn it out and then we are going to relight it. Okay. I wanted to make quite sure that it would light and that I could light it.
Just a sec.
All right. Please join me in reading the words while Michael relights our chalice this morning. In this flame, we witness
on again by the wonder of life. We are grateful to be vital to this living universe and inspiring community.
As we gather, we are reminded that Guelph is situated on land steeped in rich indigenous history and currently home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. Today we acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, on whose traditional territory we are meeting. Let us be grateful to the many generations who have come before us as we strive to walk together on a path of mutual respect and support. May the decisions we make and the activities we pursue be inclusive and mindful of the many generations yet to come. Hannah will now read the opening words.
Good morning. Our opening words today come from a collection called Pagan and Earth-Centered Voices in Unitarian Universalism. And this was composed by Shirley Ann Rank, Jerry Kishpa, and Hildebrand. Committed to respond to the call of a wounded world, we join together this day with loving hearts, hands, and minds, embracing the interconnected web of water, air, and earth. We light a fire of sustaining hope, ever bright with love and justice. May we bring forth this day new wisdom, strength, and courage to create a new world, not of wealth, but well-being, a world of new peace and abundance for all. As we give thanks for this earth, our shared and singular home, may we dedicate ourselves to its ongoing care. Rising to the calls deep within us and all around us, may we respond today and always with courage and with love.
Thank you. We'll now sing song number 389.
I'll play it through once because I don't think we know this one very well.
read the story for all ages, which is titled You Are Stardust. Yes.
You are stardust. You are stardust. Every tiny atom in your body came from a star that exploded long before you were born. You started life as a single cell.
Hey, Ash, sorry.
Is it
There's
on?
a switch you can flip it.
This? Oh, there we go. Okay, that does sound good. Sorry. You started life as a single cell. So did all other creatures on planet Earth. Like fish deep in the ocean, you called salt water home. You swam inside the salty sea of your mother's womb. Salt still flows through your veins, your sweat and your tears. The sea within you is as salty as the ocean. The water swirling in your glass once filled the puddles where dinosaurs drank. From ocean to sky to land and back again, the same water has been quenching thirst for millions of years. You learned to speak the same way baby birds learn to sing, by chatting with your parents. Ma, 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 tweet, tweet, tweet. Your breath is alive with the promise of flowers. Each time you blow a kiss to the world, you spread pollen that might grow to be a new plant. Inside your brain, electricity stronger than lightning powers your every thought. You sneeze with the force of a tornado. Wind rockets from your nose quicker than a cheetah sprints. You grow at night when your bones are resting, just like the sheep you count to help you sleep. You may sprout even taller in the spring and summer, just like the plants in your garden. Your body constantly changes. New cells line your stomach every 3 days. You'll replace your skin 100 times by the time you turn 10. Just as forests grow new trees in place of old ones, you grow entirely new skeletons throughout your life. If you were a planet, you'd be a lot like the Earth. Rainforests on land and algae in the oceans are the Earth's lungs. From your head to your toes, inside and out, billions of teeny microorganisms live on planet You. You know how it feels to be a good friend, and so do other animals. Bats and sperm whales get their friends to babysit. Elephants remain best buddies for life. You, me, birds flying through the rainforest. We are all connected. We are all nature. We are all stardust. The end.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of all surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
We will now receive the offering. Our congregation thrives because of our commitment to each other and to this place that holds and sustains us. Some give gifts of time, energy, and expertise. Let us now share our support in yet another way, giving as we are able as the morning offering is received. We recognize that a number of members have already given through monthly or annual contributions to the congregation. If you would like a tax receipt, please write your name and address on an envelope. We will now receive this morning's offering for the good of this congregation and the world that we serve.
Right.
I'd like to ask Lisa Glendenning to come up. I'd like to ask Lisa Glendenning to come up and lead us in joys and concerns. Thank you, Lisa. If you turn in the grey books to number 552, we will read a responsive reading. My help is in the mountain where I take myself to heal the earthly wounds that people give to me.
I find a rock with sun on it, and a stream where the water runs gentle, and the trees which one by one give me company.
So I must stay for a long time until I have grown from the rock.
And the stream is running through me, and I cannot tell myself from one tall tree.
Then I know that nothing touches me nor makes me run away.
My help is in the mountain that I take away with me.
Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Daisy Rannigan. After retiring from teaching elementary school, Daisy studied at the Elliott Allen Institute for Ecology and Theology at the University of Toronto. I met Daisy when she was recently celebrated as the convener of the Halton Hills Eco Film Fest at their 10th anniversary. Each year, through the fest, Daisy has offered 5 excellent documentary films focusing on 5 themes: climate change, food security, water preservation, earth care, and biodiversity. These films are intended to build an eco-consciousness in the Halton Hills area. Daisy makes frequent trips from Georgetown to Hamilton to be with her son's family and 2 young adult granddaughters who are the motivation for her activism with Grandmothers Act to Save the Planet, otherwise known as GASP. Daisy's talk will be on the 7th Unitarian principle: respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. The 7th principle aligns well with the teachings of Thomas Berry, who was a Catholic priest who lived from 1914 until 2009. Thomas Berry was a cultural historian and a geologian who was noted for his spiritual and ecological vision. Daisy will present Thomas Berry's key reflections on human, earth, cosmic relations. Daisy.
Nice to meet you all.
This is perfect.
Perfect, but it's going to change. I have a PowerPoint and a little video. And I want to welcome you to the cosmos. So I would really like if you would move closer. Is that possible? We can move the books out of the way a little bit and just.
Pull chairs up?
Yes, yes.
Sit on the floor, or we all pull our chairs up?
Sorry?
Do you want us to sit on the floor, or?
Oh, you wear whatever comfort you have. Liam, does this need to stay here?
I can move that back a bit for sure.
Yeah, because then we can come closer.
Absolutely.
The screen isn't so big, right? So.
Sorry. Is this okay right here, Daisy? Yeah. Okay.
Fill in the spaces. We don't need a center aisle.
Sorry for the noise
Fill it
online,
in.
folks. We should do all our services like this. This is
So Liam, you're gonna put up my
Yeah.
PowerPoint?
for sure. Sorry about the wait, guys.
Don't believe it.
Next.
Oh.
Just, I think you can just click OK.
Did you click the bottom one, enable external content?
And click on the bottom one.
Because we're in the.
Hit the other click the button at the bottom that says enable.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's just not like that on our screen, so. This.
Oh, it's internet.
All right, we have a screen but not a connection. I think you might have to stick without it.
Can I see it still?
Oh,
Maybe just. Yes.
you might have to ask them to see it. Oh. We're not seeing it. All right, so that's
Just online won't be able to see it, but is that okay, Daisy, there?
okay. Online you can't see it.
No, they won't be able to.
Why
Why is
put
that?
the camera camera towards the screen?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'll work, yeah.
You do it on your phone.
Oh, that's weird. No, probably doesn't like to. You might want to tell them.
While we're waiting. Yes. The next screen shows 3 people who have been amazing visionaries. And we all will have experienced one of them in the last couple of weeks. And who might that be? a person who passed recently who,
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
So, who of you have, over the last couple of weeks, watched little videos about her or seen her on Facebook? And
We had one.
We had her video at their last service.
Really?
Yes, her final interview.
wow.
Yeah.
So, I think she's a person who has basically touched our hearts. And isn't it interesting that when people pass, their spirit gets magnified and it goes around the world. So we're moving on
Yeah,
to the
we're all
next.
set, yeah.
David Suzuki is still with us, by the way.
Yes,
I looked it up,
yes.
I'm going, he's
Oh.
not gone too, is he? No.
Right. So here I'm honoring Jane. And would some of you know Joanna Macy?
Yes.
Lots of people know Joanna Macy. So another bright light that brought such gifts to the world. So maybe you don't know so much about Thomas Berry, but I'm going to introduce you to him next. Okay. So they're all visionaries. Each of them left us a legacy of hope. Isn't that true? Like, look at Jane. That was her last words were all about hope. We're going to explore Thomas's vision for an ecozoic era, which I will introduce you to. Right now, we're going to see a 3.5-minute video that will introduce Thomas by two of his students who are themselves amazing teachers. So,
Thomas Berry's long life spanned the major events of the 20th century, from the First World War at the time of his birth to significant climate and ecological disruption, from electrical energy to solar energy, from community phone lines to computers, from horse and buggy to placing a man on the moon. He sought throughout his life to make sense of these changes.
He was widely read in world history and religions and lived immersed in the narratives of time that were continually expanding from human history to earth history to universe history.
Thomas Berry sought a way to be grounded in the great vessel of life, the cosmos, and evoked this with the power of story, which elevated the voices of birdsong and migrations, revered the living forests and ancient mountains, evoked the roaring power of oceans and rivers.
There are few people who have grappled for so long to bring forth a healing vision for the earth community, a term he created to indicate our shared sense of belonging to something greater, humans and nature in continuity.
Yet, he intuited at a very early age that something was being lost, something in the depths of the integral functioning of the planet itself with the race to industrialize and modernize.
Humans, he felt, are not simply political or economic entities, but biocultural beings amidst the vast diversity of life systems and species.
He recognized the power of an evolutionary story to engage humans in the great questions. Where have we come from? How do we belong? Why are we here?
This led to his signature essay, The New Story, in 1978. A new story of the universe, he felt, could help humans become mutually enhancing participants in a multicultural planetary civilization as cultures came in contact around the globe, often for the first time.
Next, with Brian Thomas Swim, he worked for over a decade to write the universe story, a grounding for the transformations that he saw were needed for a new period in human history.
Today, Barry's perspective adds fresh energy and urgency to what he called the great work, namely, what each person and community can contribute to a flourishing future. As he would say, this work is for the future generations of all species.
Thank you, Leon. Did that land for you? Some of that connects? Even in our own lifetime, we have seen a lot of change. And when we pass, there'll be even more. On the table over there by the windows, there are most all of these books of Thomas. So in 1947, he went to China and he was taken up with the cosmology of the Chinese. And he was wanting to study more cultures. He went to India and he went to, what's beside India? He studied Buddhism.
Tibet.
Okay, we'll land there. So he had a drive in him to understand a deeper and bigger picture. And throughout these years, one book at a time, it revealed more and more until he came together with this thought that we're moving. Our planet is moving and our humanity is moving. You could go to the next slide. The bigger picture, of course, is the universe. And these images around here are really important because when we think about history, we don't include the universe history so well. But Thomas spent 10 years with Brian Swim studying this, and there are moments in history where evolution took a leap. And he put this all together. Next, please. So, it's a big topic. What does Ecozoic, the Ecozoic era mean? I'm going to read this. Just let it wash over you. Earth is entering a new geological era. The previous one, the Cenozoic era, which spanned the last 65 million years, has been terminated by the Western-style global military industrialized human community in the 19th, 20th, and now still in the 21st century. Do you agree with that? So we're in the sixth extinction, and geologically, things are changing. The word ecozoic was coined by Thomas Berry in conversation with Brian Swim for their book, The Universe Story, in order to describe the geologic era that Earth is entering, the Ecozoic era, when humans live in mutually enhancing relationships with Earth and the Earth community. That last part is really significant because that's our dream, that's our hope, that's where we want to go, right? When humans live in mutually enhancing relationship with Earth and the Earth community. The options for the future seem to be binary, however. Life or death. We can create the Ecozoic era, living with Earth in mutual fashion, or we can create a death era, living to destroy ourselves and the Earth. So that's kind of blunt, but we see what's happening around us. So this gives us, something that we can work toward. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here at this particular time in history. We are very important now. This was our last summer of 2025. Speak out to me what you see here and what you know happened in the summer.
Floods,
Huge fires, huge fires.
Yep.
drought.
Drought.
Floods.
Did you smell the smoke in Guelph?
Yeah. Heat waves.
Heat waves, big time.
Yeah.
So it's a problem. And Thomas has some ideas for how we can move into this ecozoic era. He's going to present, I'm going to present them, 7 basic principles that will guide us in developing technologies that would mutually enhance both the human community and the Earth process. Next. So we're going to go through these one by one, and after each one, we're going to think about any examples that we can add to this. Okay, first, human technologies should function in an integral relationship with Earth technologies. Not in a despotic or disturbing manner under the metaphor of conquest, which we know all about, but rather in an evocative manner. Nature has, during hundreds of millions of years, through numberless billions of experiments, worked out the ecosystems that were flourishing so abundantly when humans and human civilizations emerged into being. So have a look at, I think one is over here. So the Earth was amazing. You know some of that story, emerging from the oceans, moving on to land. The plants came, the flowers came, big animals came, and the story of how Earth came into being. And we're in the story as well. Next, please. Second, I think we need to back up, Liam. Yeah. Have you any examples of maybe the not part we're not doing so well, and some examples of the place where we are doing well?
Oil and gas?
And how that's disruptive?
Not great.
It's not working for the Earth here? Uh-huh.
Communications.
In what way, Michael?
Well, we're able to know the evidence,
Oh.
and we can communicate it to each other.
Mm-hmm. So the despotic type blocks all of that, blocks communication, or really what is real, something like that. Thanks, Liam. Second, we must be clear concerning the order of magnitude of the changes that are needed. So, we are not concerned here with some minor adaptations, but with the most serious transformation of human-Earth relations that has taken place at least since the classical civilizations were founded. What one word there would you, you got a little alert on there?
Transformation.
Yes, for sure. Yes. The most serious transformation needed. So, Thomas would say, we must learn survival in more intimate relations with the natural world. Since the industrial bubble cannot long endure, in its present mode of functioning. Would you agree?
Yes. Totally.
So, tell me what up there gives us some idea about what we can do to transform things.
Intimate relations.
With nature and with each other, perhaps? Earth, human, cosmos.
I think a recognition that we are at a survival stage and therefore have to return to more what we might have called primitive ways of living, closer to and more in attunement with nature.
Yes. We'll move on. Third, sustainable progress must be progress for the entire Earth community. Every component of the community must participate in the process. For humans to advance by eliminating, degrading, or poisoning other life systems is not to diminish the grandeur of earthly existence, but also to diminish the chances for human survival in any acceptable mode of fulfillment. Your response?
Well, it's why more and more now people, or it's now a science taught in universities of what they call circular economy, right? And then that our industrial process, every step of our industrial process cannot, it's about doing, because industrial processes create huge amounts of waste, right? And then it's a real big effort to not have any processes that produce waste that cannot be used to do something else. It's about to eliminate the waste, right? That's, I think, what the biggest drive is now, to make our systems more sustainable. Yeah.
Did you all hear that, her comment about waste? As Michael mentioned, I'm involved with Halton Hills Eco Film Fest. Next Wednesday on the 22nd, our film is called "This Film is Garbage." And Andrew Nisker, previously, 20 years ago, got worried about waste. And he went looking for what's going on here. And now he has this new film, and we're looking at it today. And like, if you think about waste, it's just incredible. Even our own waste.
Yeah.
As the First Nations people, the Indigenous people, they had ways of living with Earth that they could reuse things. They weren't, so eager to add more and more. They were moving around a lot too, so they couldn't accumulate all the kind of stuff that we have. Thank you. Our technologies need to be integral. They need to take care of their waste products. Waste disposal should be associated with the process, either the immediate process or related process. This law of integrity is among the most widely violated. This refusal to deal with their own waste, chemical, fossil fuels, etc., is one of the universal, consistent, and repulsive aspects of our contemporary technologies. You had a good intuition on that line there. Anything you'd like to add to this? How's Guelph doing with its waste disposal and the lake? How's how's Guelph Lake doing? How about the rivers, both rivers?
We have a recycling system, but we don't know where it goes.
Yeah. The more of the stuff we put in recycling, they've added more items that can be recycled. Some of that gets recycled, some not. Like, not everybody is responsible for what they throw in the recycling bins. So it's labor intensive to sort it, right? So it makes it, so it's not, we're at maybe 25%, right? Being generous with what actually gets recycled. And the compost, there's too many things thrown in the compost that shouldn't be in there. People aren't buying the city-made compost because it's full of plastic. It's actually on the bags, if you see, it's got a plastic content. So I think they eliminated throwing diapers in there, so another one, right? I think with children is the disposable diapers are a problem, right? Yeah. So I don't know if Guelph has a diaper service, right? So that was my way of, a small way of doing that when I had children. I had cotton diapers, although there was, and they had a diaper service, but it does take up a lot of water, creates a lot of wastewater, so it's just, but I think that's preferable to the amount of waste, disposable wire, and the problem and the E. coli and compost, right? Yeah. Same with animal waste, right?
Yes.
Yeah, should not go into, it's currently going into green bins, and it shouldn't be in there. It's supposedly biodegradable plastic, and it's not really.
Not really.
It just breaks down into microplastics.
Yes.
So it doesn't turn back into soil, right? Yeah.
I like the word integral here.
Yeah.
Or this law of integrity. So we haven't kept up with this issue, have we?
No.
It's one that, it's not very pleasant, and we just haven't done a good job with it. Thank you. There is a need for a functional cosmology that will provide the mystique needed for this integral Earth human presence. Such a mystique is available once we consider that the universe, the Earth, the sequence of living forms, and the human mode of consciousness have, from the beginning, had a psychic, spiritual, as well as a physical, material presence. So that's a big statement. And Thomas would say that we've gone into a technological trance. And we've spent a lot of time on the physicality of things without appreciating the psycho-spiritual aspect of everything. And in his study of the universe, he would see each one of these moments as having, like, when birds arrive, when flowers arrive, it had a lot more of a spiritual element to it than we recognize or have acknowledged. Until technologists learn reverence for the earth, there will be no possibility of bringing healing to a new creative age to the earth. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Some parts of the First Nations have still retained this kind of reverence.
So they have ceremony for water and moon and that kind of thing?
Yes.
They maintain respect for earth? Yes.
Right. There has to be a political will involved in this. Our politicians are driven by greed, and I'm not sure that many of them have had any connection to the natural world. And until we can elect people who actually get it, we can't be mining for gold and polluting the waters at Grassy Narrows in 2025, and we haven't cleaned up the mess before. And we are pretending that it's okay. Somehow we just, okay, that's Indigenous people, we don't value them quite the same. The pipeline that we're going to put through to the West Coast, like, to me, it's heartbreaking and makes me very angry. And we have family members suffering from environmental degradation.
Yes.
And science has done a wonderful job to get us to produce lots of food, but what it's doing to the human body is, it just violates everything that I believe in.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think a significant word up there is healing. And in order for healing to occur, you often have to allow something else to shed and move away. I feel like that's the time we're in right now.
Daisy, this is a wonderful presentation and I want it to go on, but I'm very cognizant of the time.
Yes.
And I know that some people, particularly Liz and Linda, need to leave. I wonder what you would like to do at this point, because I think you've probably got another 20, 25
Oh,
minutes.
no, it goes really fast after these next two.
Okay.
But if you have to go, oh.
Yeah, that's a good message. You have to go, let's hear it.
All right, very good. And thank you for coming. Thank you so much. And anybody else who needs to leave, feel free to go right now. And I think we'll carry on. Thank you, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
Onward. Nature is violent as well as benign. Our technologies have a defensive role to play. Nature with its frequent droughts, its devastating floods, its hurricane winds, we can name more, forces that are ready to destroy us, though nature has so arranged its balance of forces that the remedy is already available. On the dark side, by cutting forests, we invite floods. By practicing extensive monoculture agriculture, we invite pest infestations on a massive scale. By pouring chemicals on the land, we kill the soil and invite erosion. Nature is both benign and terrible, but consistently creative in the larger patterns of her actions. Technologies can terminate. So, what's your response there?
Mother Nature bats last.
Good point.
There's a recent paper that by Graham Reed that is titled "There is no word for nature in our language." So in indigenous languages, there is no word for nature because it is them. There is no separation.
Well, thank you for adding that.
So maybe the flip side is that we are also violent as well as benign. We are the same. We are nature.
Good point. Yes.
But what we seem to lack,
Yes.
the natural ecosystems have, is this ability to discern what is a destructive process that then invites life again, as opposed to the path that we take ourselves on. And this seems to me to be an invitation to, you know, recognize where we're interrupting the natural flow, and also to consider that if we have all these technologies, how can we actually use them for good?
Yes.
And to revitalize possibility and life itself.
Absolutely. Yes. Do you think we're moving in that direction?
No, sadly, no.
No. But there has to be a societal will to embrace that. And I think you touched on it earlier, in that we are not willing to recognize what's happened.
That's right.
Like, the evidence is all around us, but we are blind to it. And
we're choosing to be blind to
willfully,
it.
willfully.
Right.
It's inconvenient.
Al Gore had the right term when he called it an inconvenient truth. Next. Oh, 7, thank you.
Wrong, right terminology, wrong intentions.
Our new and healing technologies need to function within a bioregional context, not simply on a national or global scale. The functional divisions of the human should accord with the functional divisions of the earth itself and its life forms. The earth is not given to us in a single global sameness. The earth articulates itself in Arctic and tropics, in seacoast and mountain regions, in plains and valleys, in deserts and woodlands. Bioregions contain mutually supporting life systems that are generally self-sustaining in a bioregion. On the other side, roads that go along a stream or river are dangerous barriers to those living beings that need to get the water. What are your thoughts about this?
I guess it's this notion of act locally and think globally, right? That if we take care of the ecosystem in which we live, then we're contributing to the greater whole in the most powerful way that we can. I think eco-villages around the world get this.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Liam? So some of you may know about the Sustainable Development Goals. This is a United Nations program that has been running for a number of years, and their goal was to do this, accomplish these by 2030. 2030 seems to be an important date. They're in the global world gatherings like COP that's coming up November 10th to 21. 2030 has some lights around it that we're supposed to meet these particular criteria, and we're not doing well. But at least, you know, these sustainable development goals are there. They are targets, and it's good that the United Nations has put them out. And they monitor these things. Are you aware of these different pieces? They pretty much cover everything, including poverty and all kinds of you know, social, physical, everything's. Okay, moving on. So I had the great opportunity to study with Brian Swim and Thomas Berry. And that's what my doctorate is about. Now, I was a teacher for 34 years. So my culminating thesis was about education. And its title was this: Integration with Creation, New Spiritual Dimensions of Ecological Stewardship for Catholic Education. I was a Catholic teacher. So this is what I came up with. The education system has outcomes for student learning. So I took all those outcomes from kindergarten to grade 12 and I rewrote them. And I put Earth first. That every subject would have the strongest elements of Earth care. And in Ontario, we have character development values that every month there's a new character development. Could be empathy, it could be kindness. They're beautiful values. I rewrote those and made Earth the primary value, the primary piece that we need to hold up. Unfortunately, it didn't go very far. It was a good exercise. I did, however, work with 6 teachers in training at Brock University, and they implemented my program in their teaching life. I followed them for 2 years, so it was at least a little bit of a longitudinal study. And I kind of lost track of them, but I know that they were committed at the time. Okay, moving on. Oh, back up, back up, back up, back up. Right there. So, with the universe story and this video called Journey of the Universe, I took that all over Ontario. I did it with teachers, I did it with church groups, and everywhere I could take it. It's on the table. It is an amazing documentary. And those 2 people, Mary Evelyn Tucker and John Grimm, that introduced Thomas, they literally have taken it all over the world, and they still are. I'd love to present it here sometime if you'd be interested. Along with that story came the cosmic walk. So, it's 200 feet of blue rope on the floor, and 32 candles, and a video presentation or slide presentation to go with it, to name every one of these special moments in the 13.7 billion year history of the universe, to acknowledge them, to raise them up, to bring into our awareness the evolutionary path that we are on. It's very powerful. Next. So, as Michael said, because of the film Journey of the Universe, I realized what the power of film. So these are the films that we've been working with. We're in the tail end of our 10th year. It's going well. We get good responses in Halton Hill. Next. So yes, I'm a member of GASP, Grandmothers Act to Save the Planet. We're very active, mostly in Oakville, Milton, and Halton Hills. Great group. You can look them up. Carry on. Yes, Seniors for Climate. So Karen Hare was part of our big event on September 20th. Seniors for Climate. The theme was Draw the Line for People, Peace, and the Planet. So that's how my studies with Thomas are working. He just fired me up, and I'm still on fire, And this book, this is the latest one that has come out. Could you go to the next slide? This is a book of hours. Do you know, Thomas was, he was a monk. He was a poet and a visionary, like I said. So we're going to end our time here with this, what you could think of it as a song, and it is full of hope. Here's what I'd like to do. I would like to read through it first, so you all hear. And then I'd like us to read it through, and that will be our closing. Okay? We are supported by that same process that brought the earth into being, the power that spun the galaxies into space, that lit the sun and brought the moon into orbit. Those same forces are still present. We feel their impact and understand that we are not isolated in the chill of space, with the burden of the future upon us, and without the aid of any other power. We are supported by that power that spun the galaxies into space. Are you good with that? Okay, let's go.
We are supported by that same process that brought the earth into being, the power that spun the galaxies into space, that lit the sun and brought the moon into orbit. Those same forces are still present. We feel their impact and understand that we are not isolated in the chill of space, with the burden of the future upon us, and without the aid of any other power. We are supported by that power that spun the galaxies into space.
Wow, that brings us hope. So this amazing little book is written so that in every day there are parts of the day that you could go to the book in dawn and day and dusk and dark. That's how it's organized. And Thomas's words are written in a form of, contemplation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Daisy. I think in the interest of time, we won't have the last song, which was the Rainbow Connection, to close out. The candle has yet again gone out, so I think we'll move on here.
Well, we can say the words and pretend it's lit and go through the motions.
Then let's do that.
There we go.
What are the words again?
We gather to light this chalice, arch the flame lit within us, an inspired community.